I want to hear somebody like these type of people start to give out the advice that doesn't have to be flashy. You don't gotta sleep. Failure. Don't sleep. No days off. Blah blah blah. What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve. I have BB Pro, Mr. Tell Like It Is. Welcome back. Yes, Mr. Tate is again up on the chopping block. He put out a statement that I was sent. Now I'm gonna respond to it because again, there might be those who are on the fence about something. And if I can give you another point of view that might be a better point of view, I'm going to do my best and give it. So we're gonna read off this statement from Andrew Tate. And you know what? For the most part, he's got a message, but then again, it gets lost within everything else that you're just like, you were starting off good and then you... Anyway, let's give it a read. Unpopular opinion, heavyweights are easy. It's the lightweights that are hard. They say strong body is a strong mind. This is true because you craft your mind as you build your body. And it's the endless reps, thousands every day, of the same boring activity which builds the mind. Sprints are easy. Marathons are hard. Finding focus in chi to lift heavy weight a few times is much easier than finding the focus in chi to thanklessly lift a tiny weight endless times. As many as possible, training till failure, every 30 minutes, all day, every single day, racking up thousands. You can't brag. You can't show off with it or impress anyone. You can only focus and work, building strength of body and strength of character. Life is the same. You don't get to psych yourself up for a few events, pull them off, and be successful for eternity. You have to do the endless small things, day after day. The thankless, boring things nobody cares about. Being able to do this when everybody else quits is how you forever win. Life's rarely a huge bench press. Very often, 300 reps with 5-pound weight. Do you understand? So, I don't. I mean, I do. I get what he's saying, but like, there's so many things in this that like, here's my thing, guys. I get what he's trying to say, but I do understand this analogy he's trying to say as well, to that he's trying to make the comparison of life and reps and carrying out the things that are, that are worthwhile are the very boring things that happen that happen consistently. It's you gotta do what you gotta grind, it's this and that, you gotta grind and that's it. And it's just a slow burn and there's no hills and valleys, just one straight, just like, there's a reason why I said progressive overload your life. I make these analogies with the gym, with my mental health, because it's something that I connected to right away when it came to doing, body scans and mindfulness exercises and being in the moment. The muscle-mind connection and that thing that, really brought me to understanding the very similar things that were shared in training in life, the gym in life. I made that connection my entire life. So I want to break down this with my point of view and let me know if I'm on track with this. So heavyweights is easy. No, heavyweights is not easy. It's not. I've done both. I played football where lifting, heavy weight that 1 to 5 reps to be ballistic, more explosive and powerful. It was heavy. Doing mesocycles to get there was hard. Getting your body to be able to train there was hard. Technique to get there was hard. That entire journey to lifting heavy weight, the effects of the differences of how it exhausts your central nervous system. Like there's a reason why you can't train heavy all the time, because of how hard it is on the body. So I gotta be like, no, not even close. Maybe that's his way of saying, because he doesn't like bodybuilders, so he's probably like, I can't lift heavy weights, so I might as well just kind of ride this whole thing here and keep the one part of the analogy, because he's right. Because it is, life does have those, those moments of just like, it's lighter, but it's a consistent light-ish, whatever weight, right? Either way. But lightweights, high reps are indeed a grind. Heck yeah, they're a grind, but not necessarily harder. right? There's like, but if you guys have watched the Trend Twins change their style of training, you can't say that their old style of training in terms of just being heavy and lifting heavy ass weight 1 or 3, 8 times, whatever, just bam, bam, lift a heavy weight. You can't say that what they were doing was easy at all. But you can't also say that the lightweight was easy as well too. They're both very challenging in their own way. Hey, what's good, people? Struggling to keep up with your routine, or you feel like you're just spinning the wheels? Well, you came to the right place. Check out the link in the description below for my customized one-time training or nutrition plans. I'm also offering online coaching with weekly check-ins and unlimited contact with myself. And look, if you don't want to dive in right away and you have some questions, book yourself a video call with myself. And at the end of the consult, I deduct off any package that you pick. Anyway, guys, let's get back to the show. So, lifting isn't only, about strength. It is about building your character and your mind. I agree with that completely. It is, but it requires some of those times where those hills and those valleys. Like life is very much like lifting. Like life is very much like it, right? When you look at things. And that's why I always say like progressive overload your life, because like it's like this. You go through things in life quite naturally. And some things you go through in life will seem really hard the first time you do it, until you've done it enough and it becomes that much easier. Then you take on another challenge in life. That's like, you have like your hypertrophy phase where you're taking on, you're just dealing with life. You know what I mean? Bills, taxes, your schedule, maybe the pressures of work. You know what I mean? Maybe making enough money, whatever it is. Just life is just giving you those like daily, repetitions that you have to do that are required for you to become stronger of a person. Mentally, spiritually, whatever it is, every single day you're getting these reps. You and your partner are arguing and shit, so now you're trying to figure out how to not argue. Not that, process is pretty tough, but it's not the end of the world. It's just tough, right? And you go through and you finally get there and you're like, bam, you got there. Awesome. And then one of your friends or parents or somebody gets sick. You know what I mean? Or something happens that is like a heavy load. It's a heavy load. But guess what? In that heavy load, you still have to. It's required that you lift that heavy load. But both are required. I hate to be like, quite dark there, but like that's life. Every single day you're getting hit with these like regular things that have a little bit of weight. Nothing that you can't handle. It's about, maybe 20 to... There's things in your life you're dealing with right now that are probably like 20 to 70% of your 1 rep max of like a big thing you've done in your life. Like a big change, a big event, something happened in your life that was like a 1 rep max. And everything else before that is like, 20 to 70% of your 1 rep max. Like something you could deal with. The bills are around like 20% on your mind. Nah, not that big of a deal. And maybe bills are like 70%. You never know, but it's still something that you can handle, that you can just deal with on a day-to-day basis, and doing it more and doing it often, and understanding how to, be right with your finances and this and that, and you get better and better, and then your kids are growing up or something, the relationships are getting better, everything's progressing at the rate it should, and then something happens where you gotta deal with a heavy load. That's life. And I agree that life is a marathon. It is a marathon. Both in lifting and in life, it is a marathon. But it's like, again, it's both. Sometimes you're doing this. It is a marathon. It's a marathon, and some parts of the marathon you pick up your pace a bit. But it's one big marathon. I totally agree with that. Final Focus isn't just about like lifting weights. It's not about just lifting heavy weights. Light weights do require a lot of focus, consistency, and discipline. That's completely true. When people train, that's why people don't train, slower and controlled. It's not flashy. It's not, you can't really impress anybody like, watch this person lift. You don't think about it. But to me, I think it's impressive when I see somebody that is strong lift something very heavy for a long period of time, that can control it. That's called self-control, being able to control yourself in that moment of discomfort, being able to stay composed and still understand what the goal is. Yes, training to failure is something you should do. but not often. Once you've been there enough time, you should know how to train and come in close to failure. But it's not just about oil. And that's one thing that kind of gets me about guys like this. I want to hear somebody like these type of people start, like, you know, to give out the advice that doesn't have to be flashy. You don't gotta sleep. Failure. Don't sleep. No days off. Blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but you know that you need, like, if you truly understood the body and how it works in the best environment it can work, it's when it's resting properly and recovering. The body needs rest. You want to build, like you understand, like, if you're trying to build a building, you got to send the workers home to sleep so they can come back and keep building the building. And there's always material that's there. You're always providing the material and you're providing the workers, right? You're the one working, but you got to go to sleep. You got to recover. You got to let your body, you know, digest food if that, right? And, like, you know, who cares how much the weight is? You know, lifting isn't about, like, bragging rights. Like, it doesn't matter. It really, like, this, when it comes down to it, training isn't about, you know, how much you can lift. It's not at all. Really, it isn't. Unless you're, like, doing it, unless you're in a federation or competition or something where you have to lift a certain amount of weight for something. Yeah, it does. But weight doesn't matter. There isn't, the bragging right should be like, I'm healthy. You know, use some variables to help with, like, progressive overload. But, like, when it comes down to it, when you fantasize too much about how much something weighs and not how well it's done, how efficient it's done, you're missing the mark. You're missing the mark. And when it comes down to it, if you think about it, the only people who really care how much you can lift are, like, other guys. Literally, actually. Like, if you're a bodybuilder, judges don't really care how much you can lift. Most people who's watching, girlfriends, partners, wives, don't care how much you lift. And vice versa. I can almost guarantee some of even the boyfriends or husbands don't care how much your partner lifts. You just really care what they look like. Inside and out. Period. And that's what you have to understand. Get to that point, and training becomes more than just about how much you can lift. You learn a lot about yourself. You just take your sets somewhere close to failure. See what kind of person you are within that place of being uncomfortable. Do you run away or do you run to? Are you ready to work harder or do you quit? That's the biggest thing. Regardless if you're lifting heavyweight or not, when it becomes uncomfortable, where are you? And that's what lifting is. It's getting to a place where it's going to bring you to a place that's going to be pretty uncomfortable. But that uncomfortable place is going to bring results. And being consistent with it is going to bring results. But again, we have to understand, this entire thing isn't just about how well we look. It's about how efficient we're training and how healthy we're living so we can live the longest possible life we could possibly live and enjoy every single day doing it. Anyway, guys, thought you liked my take on that little spiel of his. If you guys have your own opinions, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, guys, you know what it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep gym chasing. Peace.